It will be when you speak. Yep. Hello and good evening from Fortress Loddon Valley, and that's what Reading Rockets fans have been calling this place this season. 6-0 in all competitions, but tonight comes the toughest test in the form of the unbeaten Hemel Storm, currently 5-0 in the league and looking to extend their winning run. Good evening, everyone. John Hobbs alongside Charlie Haynes and Ian Berry. Charlie, it's a big encounter tonight, top of the table clash between two powerhouse clubs.
Absolutely, one that I know everyone in Reading has been very excited for. There's been lots of build-up here in Reading, ready for a big clash between the two guys, as you say.
And Ian Berry does join us, however, unsure if Ian's microphone is working.
Just about here, John. It's pretty loud in here. We've got a big top of the table clash. Can you hear me?
I can just about hear you. Either way, team introductions are incoming, and we will be back in about 1 minute's time for the team sheets and the start of today's game. So we are back at Loddon Valley. Tip-off is about 1 minute and 40 seconds away. John Hobbs, Charlie Haynes and Ian Berry on the commentary booth for tonight's top of the table clash. Ian, hopefully your microphone is set now. If you could just about hear me. It's a festival of noise here at Loddon Valley. Fortress Loddon, Reading fans call it, and Hemel currently 5-0 in NBL 1 this season. Will be looking to put a dent in that record.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got obviously an undefeated record here at Loddon, and Hemel coming in as top of the table, 5-0. Massive clash. We can't wait to see what happens.
Starting tonight's game, starting with the Reading Rockets, Mitch Clark, Zane Porman, Lewis Champion, Matt Ullman and Ty Nsangu. For the Hemel Storm, Sam Newman, Tremichael Motton, Darian Nelson Henry, Matt Ellis and Veron Ezzy. It's a boisterous crowd inside Loddon Valley here tonight. And as said Ian, Hemel looking to put a dent in Reading's unbeaten run here at Loddon Valley this season. Reading have vanquished all that have come before them, but this is undoubtedly their toughest test.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hemel arguably the strongest and the deepest team in the league, and certainly a massive size advantage. And I think what we can look for tonight is which team can impose their style of play early on in the game and take control.
And for you, Charlie, for the Rockets, they actually, for their record, 5-2 in NBL 1, actually possess the third worst offense in the league. However, they pose the best defense, whereas Hemel have the second best offense. So it's almost like a case of best defense against best offense here tonight.
Absolutely, and I think a key matchup will be that matchup inside with the likes of Tyner Sangu and Justin Hopkins coming against the big fella, Darian Nelson-Henry, along with a very strong and deep backcourt, as we were just talking about off air.
And Ian, you were talking earlier to us off air that for Hemel tonight, it's all about pounding the ball inside, whereas Reading will look to push the ball.
Absolutely. With Nelson-Henry starting at the 5, he's going to have such an advantage inside, and then maybe have Matt Ellis alongside him. I think talking to Mike Dolo, a big part of their game plan was to find as many inside touches as possible and really control tempo.
So as said, starting 5s for tonight's game: Mitch Clark, Zane Porman, Lewis Champion, Matt Ullman, Tyner Sangu. For the Rockets, for the Storm, Sam Newman, Tremichael Motton, Darian Nelson-Henry, Matt Ellis and Veron Eze. Our match officials tonight: Lewis Everton, Walker Everton, Tahir Akar and Sparadis, as we get set. Rockets with the first possession of this contest. A top of the table clash in NBL Division 1. Big game for both clubs tonight, and already a turnover for Tyner Sangu. Sam Newman. He struggled last week in the win against the Milton Keynes Breakers, but still stuffed the score sheet. Here is Newman driving. Ellis with a jumper along the baseline.
That's that Matt Ellis inside outside threat. He's going to knock that down all day.
Ullman. Mitch Clark on the wing, driving at Eze. Still has it. Here is Porman, the extra pass. Ullman a 3.
Matt Ullman with a huge hit to get Rockets up and running. Important that they answered back early after that great first possession from Hemel Storm.
Sam Newman. Ellis. Inside Motton. Along the elbow with the jumper, and that's money.
He's really started to heat up lately. Really slow start for him, as if some imports find their feet, but he's got cooking lately.
So far, both teams executing their offense in the early going as Champion drives along Main Street, doesn't get the layup to drop, and Tremichael Motton gets the rebound. Cross-court pass, Sam Newman wide open, favourite spot, doesn't get the 3, and Champion picks up the loose pieces, and in transition, Zane Porman with the finish.
And that's just what we were talking about a second ago, John, how important it is that Reading, with their slightly smaller lineup than Hemel Storm, do manage to get out in transition.
Like Ian was talking with the Hemel guys earlier, Hemel looking to bash the ball inside, and Matt Ellis with his second field goal.
Yeah, he's super dynamic, and he's over that right shoulder, he's a nightmare.
Whistle is called, travel violation on the Rockets. So 2 quick turnovers for the Reading Rockets. Just over 2 minutes played in the first.
Absolutely interesting to see Hemel's coverages so far. Rockets do like that inside post catch where they try and force a mismatch, and they're a popular option for them is the ball screen, but no success with it just yet.
Both teams have only missed the 1 field goal thus far. Here is Newman driving the hoop. And the floater from Ellis, and 2 quick field goals for Matt Ellis.
Yeah, and you can see just the threat of an inside post at the moment. They're trying to front, and then they've got help on the backside. The skip's there, now they grab advantage, and they're getting easy shots from it.
A noisy Loddon Valley here tonight for the visit of the Storm. There's a smattering of Hemel Storm fans in attendance. They always travel very well.
Look
the
out.
Storm inside Lasang, who misses the pass, collects it, but too strong with his layup. And here comes Tremichael Motton. Extra pass, Newman wide open for three.
Massive shot, and he can knock that down all day. They're really good in transition. That's going to be a problem for Reading if they can't slow him down.
Storm with a quick 11-5 lead. Ullman has to alter his shot. Ellis got a fingertip to it. And a foul at mid-court from Lewis Champion on Sam Newman. But a good start from Hemel, Ian, and Reading looking to push the tempo at the moment, but Hemel executing their offense. They're going inside a lot of the time. Patient build-up play leading to good shots.
Yeah, I think the threat of the two bigs inside is collapsing that Reading defense. You're seeing a lot of early skip passes, and that's creating long closeouts. They're able to attack them with either a jumper or get to the middle and create advantage.
And they go inside again. Darian Nelson-Henry driving at Hopkins. Bit of a height disadvantage there, and Nelson-Henry makes full advantage of it.
They're one of the best bigs in the league. He's tough.
Champion putting the moves on Motton, goes under the screen. Ullman again a three, and Matt Ullman given the green light to shoot right now. Missed that three. Poorman with the offensive rebound. There is Hopkins who misses the shot. Again, Reading get another bite of the cherry. Here is Clark. Clark finds a bit of room and connects with a three.
And I really like the patience from Reading there. They're not going to get a lot of second chance opportunities, so they dribble the ball back out, get into their ball screen offense, get the switch that they wanted of Nelson-Henry and Mitch Clark, and Mitch drains the three ball.
Rockets were only 1 of 23 last week from downtown against Loughborough, so a bit more confidence this week as Hopkins drives to the hoop and he's fouled. Or was he fouled? In fact, no, he wasn't. It was, I assume, an offensive foul was called. Didn't see what referees actually did there, but either way, Hemel had the ball. Early stages, coming up to the midway point of the first quarter. Tremichael Motton inside, Ellis, the hook off the window and down. And a timeout has been called. Samit Nurizadeh calling timeout, Ian, and it's been a very positive start for the Hemel Storm. They've only missed one field goal, 7 of 8 from the field.
Yeah, early doors, they look like they're in full control on the offensive end. Nice and patient, into their horn set, roll inside, then they're either finding the roller or they're finding skip passes to create early opportunities.
And for Reading, Charlie, it's been a very tough start. Even though offensively they've gotten their good looks, they've relied heavily on looking for that three-point shot. What have they got to do in the early stages to try and stem the bleeding here from Hemel?
Well, we know how much Samit Nurizadeh loves to get inside looks for the likes of Justin Hopkins, and he's got a couple of nice offenses that we see each week here, John, that gets them that look. However, at the minute, the Hemel Storm doing a really good job of making sure that the mismatches Reading are trying to make happen aren't possible. They're not switching those screens. They're fighting the screens. They've come up with some really nice coverages off the ball. As a result, Reading are having to go more to their ball screen and just try and play reads out of that. So good start from Hemel Storm on both ends of the floor.
Right now, the Hemel Storm led by Matt Ellis. He has 8 points, a perfect 4 of 4 start for him. Only Sam Newman has missed the field goal right now for the Storm. 7 of 8 from the field. Conversely, Reading 3 of 8 from the field. And they are led by the duo of Mitch Clark and Matt Ullman, who have 3 points each. As said, Reading
look for the zone out of timeout here. Sorry.
Reading failed to find their groove last week. Ullman another three, and this one is way off. And here comes Veronese. An open Sam Newman, short. And Reading come again. Mitch Clark driving, high degree of difficulty, gets it to go.
We love a Magic Mitch highlight, and there's his first one of the day.
Motton finds Newman, driving at Poorman. Nelson Henry is, I think, fouled. There was a bit of bumping going on there.
Yeah, that's a big guy to get caught up on that deep in the post. And it's going to be tough to guard down there.
And Matt Ellis will take a seat. And Matthew Dizu into the game for the first time. Matt Ullman heads to the bench. Simon Chamberlain will come in. Lewis Champion also heading to the bench, and Victor Olorerin coming in for his first action. First game last week where he was held scoreless, Victor Olorerin, so looking to make amends here tonight in front of this home crowd. 7 on the shot clock for Motta, misses the 3. Here is Clark. Olorerin, the switch from Motta. Here is Portman driving, that blows the layup. Good defense from Sam Newman, standing his ground, and he is fouled by Mitch Clark.
Yeah, there's a good foul to take in transition there. You got to slow him down, control tempo early.
Right now, Charlie, Rockets just 4 of 10 from the field. But in a few games, they have traditionally been slow starters, and they usually come alive in the second half. So obviously, a lot of basketball to be played. As Newman has the ball, here is Ezzy inside to Nelson Henry. 3 Rockets players on him, but he gets it to go and a foul.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do in this ball screen coverage and how they're going to cover up and stop Nelson Henry from dominating inside, because right now he's getting whatever he wants.
But good defense, Charlie, from the Rockets there. There was 3 players on him, but Nelson Henry just too big, too strong.
Yeah, and it's going to have to be a case of limited catches inside for the Hemel Storm and try and force them to have to take some perimeter shots. And a good challenge for them is how late into the shot clock can they force Hemel to shoot. At the minute, it's quite easy for them to get the looks they want early. They're hitting their corner threes, they're getting looks inside.
Nelson Henry misses the free throw. 14 points, 10 boards last week for Nelson Henry against the Milton Keynes Breakers in an 88-68 victory in Hemel. As Chamberlain in and out with his baseline jumper. Gets it back though. Trent Monkman into the game for the first time, as Chamberlain will go back to the line for the Rockets. That's a bit better, isn't it, Charlie? A bit more aggressive. Chamberlain driving at Trent Monkman, returning tonight for the Storm after nursing a leg injury last week. It's good to see Monkman back, but for Chamberlain going at Trent Monkman.
And I think it's interesting as well, you've got 3 very different type of forwards for Rockets in the Sangu, Chamberlain and Hopkins. You've got Hopkins who likes to pound the ball inside and try and play his 1v1s with footwork. Tyler Sangu likes to live above the rim. And Simon Chamberlain, who likes to do more of a jump shot, fade away from the post, a corner 3. So interesting to see how Summit will want to use those 3.
Gap is cut to 5, 17 to 12. Dizu inside, drives down Loddon Valley lane, gets the 2.
Yeah, Matt Dizu, very aggressive off the bench, always comes in active and as a scorer.
Hopkins, the floater, no good. Olorerin looked to snatch it off Dizu, who is now driving hard to the hoop. Back-to-back layups for Matthew Dizu, and Hemel are rolling.
Yeah, right on cue, and they are actually firing on all cylinders right now.
Clark, Olorerin. Reading need to catch some sort of fire, and Mitch Clark provides just that.
Magic Mitch once more, and now having to try and defend a big fella down the other end.
At the other end, Ezzy collects the pass, turned over by Zane Portman. Portman with the steal, and Olorerin gets to finish that, hit the backboard, so that will count.
Yeah, basket good. Rockets aren't going to want to try and go toe-to-toe on the scoring end today. They're not going to want to try and keep up with Hemel the whole time. They're going to want to try and get some stops instead. The current scoreline is probably a little bit concerning for Nirazade and his coaching staff. They're going to want to try and cut that down. I don't think they're the kind of group that could score 28, 29, 30 points a quarter. Hemel Storm are certainly a team that can do just that.
Absolutely. Darian Nelson Henry heading to the bench. Matt Ellis comes in. Zane Portman actually leads the Rockets in steals this season. 2.1 steals a game. That was his first one of this contest. Dizu a 3, no good. He's on 2 quick field goals, is the Hemel number 23. Chamberlain, favourite spot, but this one rattles around and out. And Newman now slowing it down for the Hemel Storm. Methodical offense. Thy name is the Storm in this first quarter. As Dizu has it matched up with Hopkins. Nice footwork inside. Gets the finish.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head there when you talked about the catches inside. It's just too easy at the moment to get catches in the paint and then find inside looks.
And foul called. Dizu, too much hands on Reese Pinnock. Of course, Charlie, as well, two teams that will be heavily interested in this are SLB teams, Manchester Basketball and the Sheffield Sharks. Of course, Sheffield will be here at some point in December, and Manchester will be travelling to Hemel, so exciting battles ahead.
And something I'm really interested to see, we talk often, John, about the difference between the two leagues, so we're going to put it to the test. How does the top of NBL compare with the SLB groups?
Absolutely, should be a fascinating first round as inside Ellis the finish.
Massive play from Matt Ellis there, and great penetration from Trey Martin.
Once he received the ball, there was only one thing he was doing, and he pumped it down. As Mitch Clark drives, looks for the foul, doesn't get it from referee Tahiraka. Inside Dizu, he'll go all the way and he'll finish. Right now, aggression from the Storm, finding gaps and exploiting them.
It's a layup line right now. Coach Samet can't be happy with the pressure they're putting on the rim.
Clark, Pinnock. Bit of a mismatch here with Matt Ellis. Final minute of the first. Storm up by 10. Olararing goes inside. That's better from the Rockets.
Yes, it is, but my concern for Ready, John, is still the same thing you were saying a second ago. Is the score for the Hemel Storm is too high at the minute. Rockets are going to struggle to go toe-to-toe with them, and they're going to be a group that is tough to get 3 or 4 stops in a row against a team as talented as Storm. So Rockets are going to have to try and find a way to just get this down early. 10 points deficit is too much for them, even in the first quarter. They need to try and keep a little bit closer.
Well, the interesting statistic so far is Hemel are 12 for 16, 13 for 17, excuse me, from the field. 12 of 12 from two-point land, which is a very impressive statistic. You said, Ian, at the top of the show that Hemel were going to bash the ball inside. They're doing that right now. Yeah,
absolutely. They're living in there, and obviously not sustainable to be 100% from two, but they are getting clean, easy, early catches inside at the moment, off of a simple ball screen or a flash and a high-low action. And for Reading, they just got to figure out whether they're going to front that, whether they're going to bump a little bit more, whether there needs to be more ball pressure. Certainly they have to make an adjustment there.
Ada Tiba into the game for the first time for the Storm. 45 seconds left here in the first. Monkman a 3 in the corner. Hemel just can't miss.
Yeah, absolutely, they found a rhythm early, and that's what happens when you're inside and you're finding easy early buckets of the paint. Now you get going from the outside as well.
Hopkins driving. Hopkins high off the window, no good. Nasangu on the follow.
Yeah, good. That's his job, right? Get up nice and high and make sure you clean up anything off the glass. Good job, Nasangu.
A little bit of zone action here from Reading.
About a second differential between shot clock, game clock at the end of the first. Tremichael Motton, who's only got 2 points so far, will pull up for 3, and he'll miss on the follow, though, as Ellis, and Atiba gets it on the buzzer.
Yeah, and that last possession just says it all, exactly how the first quarter's gone. They've been dominated inside, and it continues.
Absolutely phenomenal start from the Storm, who have grounded the Reading Rockets and lead 32-21 at the end of a high-scoring first period here at Loddon Valley. Reading, as we said, 6-0 in all competitions here at the Valley. It's Fortress Loddon, but right now it's being pushed, isn't it, Charlie?
I think the biggest concern for me has to be the defensive end. At the moment, you're seeing a lot of early shots for Hemel, but they're good early shots. They're inside looks, quick post-up, corner threes, everything's open. And when they are trying to be a little bit more methodical and actually run offense, they're getting the #1 look, or they're getting the #2 look. They're getting the outcome that they want in their offense. Rockets have to find a way to try and disturb that. Maybe it's a zone, maybe it's changing coverage, maybe it's changing matchup. That's the challenge for Samanurizade as we start the second quarter.
Absolutely, and Ian, 22 points out of those 32 scored by the Storm have come inside. So for Samit Nurizade, like Charlie said, it's about trying to, really shrink the coverage inside and really attack defensively, but at the same time, be patient and wait for that defensive stop.
Yeah, lineups and matchups are going to be obviously key, but I'm really interested to see what kind of adjustments they make. As Charlie was mentioning, maybe some zone action, whether they're going to switch a little bit more, whether they're going to fight inside and maybe front. There's definitely going to be an adjustment, and the battle's going to be, it's going to be nice to see what happens when that adjustment gets made and how Hemel responds, and if Reading can get back in this game, as we are, 11 points adrift at the moment.
Absolutely, 32-21. It's good that Ian has got his mathematics skills on point there. You had to think about that for a second, didn't you?
Yeah, the scoreboard's a long way away, my friend.
Me and Charlie have gotten used to it over the years. Start of the second period here, and Reading on the back foot, but they've been on the back foot a few times after the first period of some games this season, and they fought back. 3 quarters of basketball to be played. Motton all the way, freedom of the lane.
Yeah, I really like the pressure from Reece Pinnock, but Motton's been really getting comfortable lately in NBL, and he's able to find the cut that time.
Only his second field goal at the moment. Michael Motton had 29 points last week against the Breakers, as Tyler Sangu on the follow off the miss from Olorari.
Fantastic job for Tyler Sangu. Really difficult one for the Rockets early on, so important that these second chance opportunities are taken to just try and narrow that deficit.
Right now, Reading with only 4 points. 7 points from the second chance. That'll be 9 points now with that score from the Sangu. Here is Newman. Inside, Ellis, the floater. Matt Ellis having himself an incredible game right now. 12 points for him.
Yeah, it's just easy work on that roll there. Easy
Absolutely.
work.
7 of 8 shooting right now. Olorari. Nasangu in unfamiliar territory, and it's stolen away from Newman, and now Newman 2-on-1 blocks, no foul. Nasangu with the pin, but the foul was called beforehand.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem if you start to lose the transition battle, and if you turn the basketball over while you're getting killed inside. You can't lose that many battles in a game and hope to stay involved.
So Sam Newman will head to the foul line for the Storm, and as said, struggled a little bit offensively against Milton Keynes Breakers, did Newman. 3 of 11 from downtown last week, but still managed 12 points, 5 assists. The MVP of the playoff final in Manchester last season. The last time these two teams met, what an absolute barnstormer that was in Manchester, Charlie. Hemel getting it done, but Elijah Maynard with that corner 3 agonisingly fell short.
Yeah, and that's what you're guaranteed in these kind of games. In Division 1 level basketball, you're promised close, exciting matchups, and no lead is safe.
Hemel didn't actually lead until the early stages of the 4th period in that game, and held on as Reece Pinnock going inside. And that's a player who had a great game last week against Loughborough. His career best, well, his season best, Reece Pinnock, had 16 points.
Yeah, I actually was speaking to Reece about that yesterday. We had a conversation about it and what it felt like to be back there, and he said it was just one he was really excited for. See, go back to an old home and just get comfortable in that environment. And even as an away side, you want to go away, you want to do well when you go back home, don't you? So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was really pleased with his performance.
Reece Pinnock spent years at Loughborough, not just playing, but studying at Loughborough University. One of the few bright spots from last week in what was only their 2nd loss of the season. Monk with lovely footwork, doesn't get the friendly roll though, and Hopkins snatches the rebound. Here is Clark. Olorari back to Clark. Right now, Rockets need a bit of Wizard of Oz from Clark, putting the moves on Nelson. Henry laying it up and in.
Yeah, really good move again. As said, when you got players in form, you notice it. Reece Pinnock looking comfortable out there.
averaging 19 points this season in the NBL from Michael Motton. Nelson Henry battling his way inside, gets it to go.
Wow.
Will that count?
Wow.
Just double checking there. The basket will count. What a move from Nelson Henry. Some of the fans were saying that was a travel. You seem a bit on edge on that one, Ian.
Do you know what? He was triple teamed, and I thought the pivot foot might have dragged a little bit, but credit to him, he played through the contact and just batted him off like a couple of flies.
And Nelson Henry, of course, British basketball fans know Darian Nelson Henry well from his time at the Leicester Riders. 4 trophies in 3.5 years with Rob Paternostro's side. Decided to call it quits. That lasted all of 5 months before he came back to Hemel. But really enjoying life, isn't he, at Hemel? He's just moved closer to Hemel, but still works out of London, but still makes the commute.
Yeah, absolutely. He's found a home here, and they love him, and he's enjoying his basketball.
Champion, step side 3, got it! Lewis Champion from downtown.
Big hit from Lewis, big hit, veteran play. This is when you need your vets to step up, when the game's getting a little bit tough, a little bit difficult, and there it is, Lewis Champion.
Matt Ellis responds inside, 43-30 in favour of the Hemel Storm. Just have a slight issue with our score clock. That will be sorted out momentarily. Timeout called, Samet Nurizadeh. And right now, Hemel maintaining that double-digit lead.
Yeah, Coach Samet is furious there as he calls that timeout. I think the easy catches inside are really, really hurting the Rockets right now. And as Charlie alluded to, it's just too many points on the board for Storm for Reading to be able to keep up in the game. They're going to have to figure it out.
But right now, Charlie, you know, like Ian said, Rockets are getting into their rhythm, but defensively, it's just not there at the moment. Hemel right now are executing their offense. Why is that?
Well, the first thing I'll notice is what I think Nelson Henry's done a really good job of is he's rim running. So as soon as that ball goes through the basket for a Rocket score, he's already down the other end trying to seal the smallest guy. So you can see on that last possession, he gets the matchup he wants inside. He's got really good patience, good move. On the one before, he had a ball screen. They switched. That's when we were talking about whether was it a travel, was it not? They got triple team. Well, the reason the triple team came was on the ball screen, Rockets defense switched matchup. So Reese Pinnock, who we want to see defending Sam Newman, is now defending Nelson Henry. Really tough matchup, great patience from the big guy, and it's an impossible matchup for Reese to try and contain.
Even though Reese is an elite level defender, still a bit too much when it's a matchup problem against Nelson Henry.
Coach Samet really leaning into this this smaller lineup here. I wonder if we're going to see some 5 out and try to punish Darian at the other end, maybe get him in some foul trouble.
And there is a steal off the pass.
Look
Nelson
out.
Henry, the easy finish. Bit of a miscommunication there from Rockets.
Absolutely, and just as I say they're going to punish him, the big fella comes up with the pick and gets away for the easy 2.
Now we have a quick break in play. It seems that one of our officials has lost a contact lens, I think.
Yeah, I think he just Samet Nurizadeh just gave him a little bit of an accidental poke in the eye on his way past in his frustration with the Rockets boys for throwing the ball away.
Well, I've never known Lewis Walker-Everton to wear glasses, I'm not going to lie, but
yeah, looks
either
like
way, that's probably what happened
he's
then.
taken a hit there to the face. I think Coach Samet might have thrown the arms up in the air in frustration and just caught him there, and they're going to have a look and check he's okay.
Well, it does happen. 45-30 in favour of the Hemel Storm. 7:13 remaining in the second period.
And that, John, is not the start Rockets wanted post-timeout. You could see, as Ian was talking about, they're trying to immediately go to that matchup of Pullman to be able to play against Nelson Henry, punish him from the perimeter, and they get a little bit lazy on the pass, transition bucket, big dunk. It's the worst possible outcome. So hopefully now, this may actually act as a nice break in play to just reset them, not let Storm get some momentum. They've kind of got a natural timeout here to get things together, re-plan their coverages, re-plan their offense, and make sure the next possession is what they want it to be.
Well, Hemel second in NBL Division 1 in points per game. They average 91 points a contest. Conversely, the Rockets third from bottom in the league when it comes to points. They only score 78. However, they actually boast the league's best defense in the league, only giving away 73 points. So it's more a case of best offense against best defense tonight. And it seems that offense is really getting it done.
Sure, and there's some matchups out there that are tough, and sometimes stats aren't going to tell the whole story. And when you match up against a certain team, there's certain advantages that you're going to find. If they go your way, you're going to be able to dominate. And right now, 45 points on the board after 13 minutes of play, and Hemel have only made 2 threes. Usually, if a team run up the score like this early, you would think they got hot from the perimeter. But right now, it's everything inside, easy catches, early catches, and they're just at the rim all the time.
Well, Hemel made their first 13 two-point attempts. And so far are 18 of 20 from two-point land, 74% from the field, 20 of 27 as the referee just receiving some treatment on the physio table at this time.
Yeah, it seems he took quite a hit. They've got an ice pack over there on him, so we might have a small break in play here.
Well, it's a great noisy atmosphere here at Loddon Valley tonight, a near full house at the Valley. We can barely hear each other talk at the moment. The noise was deafening when the play has been going on. It's been silenced a little bit with the break in play. The players just warming up so they don't get cold. But it's a great atmosphere here tonight, Charlie, isn't it? And it's been like that all season. It's not often we have Saturday night games that feature Reading at home. They've got 5 to end 2024 before they revert back to the Sunday fixtures for the remainder of the season. But it's not dampened the crowd participation. They are really loud here.
No, it absolutely hasn't. And I think the merge of Loddon Valley and Reading Rockets has been a really healthy connection made, because it's been welcomed by the Rockets family and it's been enjoyed by the Rockets family. It's got a very different feel to the old school Rivermead, and I think it's been a really nice next step for the men's and women's program to be able to have access to a venue as homely and as comfortable and as loud as Loddon Valley.
As our referee now just heads to the locker room, he's got a real shiner on his face though, so that must have been some hit from Samet.
I'm looking at Coach Samet, and he's got a sheepish look on his face there as he's just checking that the ref's doing okay. I think he's going to be all right though.
He's also holding his hand, which suggests he probably gave him quite a good smack.
He must have.
Yeah.
Charlie, if I could ask you now, if you're coaching this game and you're Coach Samet, what do you tell Reading going into this last 7 minutes of the half? What adjustments might you make, or where's the focus now?
Well, one of my favourite things that you mentioned here was the fact that they put a smaller 5 out, because we're talking a lot about the defensive end. So I'd expect to see a shot blocker or a bigger body like a Justin Hopkins or a Tyner Sangu to try and control the likes of Nelson Henry and the dominance inside, such as from Matt Ellis. I think interesting to see that he's gone, again, with that small lineup, which suggests to me he's probably looking more at the offensive end. I could be wrong here, but I'm expecting him on the offensive end to be very spaced, on the defensive end probably to front inside, and as you talked about earlier, try and have that help from behind. So different approaches available to him. At the minute, I think it might be a case of my options aren't working, so let me try a new one.
Absolutely. Sometimes you've got to mix it up, and you've got to try and find a way to get some rhythm, and that might be the case, right? Maybe they space the floor, maybe they get out and run a little bit more, they shoot a little bit more from free, and they scrap the game up a little bit, and that doesn't necessarily suit the bigger bodies of Hemel, and perhaps you find some joy going into this latter part of the first half.
I mean, Hemel Storm with 3 personal fouls right across the game so far, so it's going to be interesting to see for their perspective as well, because 30 points is still a respectable score. It's just not as much as 45. So how many times can they try and make sure that Nelson Henry isn't affected by having to play on the 3-point line? And how are they going to try and make sure that Rockets don't get hot? I mean, they've had 9 points, Rockets, in 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Yes, Hemel are taking a lot of early shots, so there's more possessions happening than we would normally see in a Division 1 basketball game. However, the challenge is the scores are high for both teams, so how do we settle that down?
And it looks like our official is back on the floor, so we should be underway
back
shortly.
now, shouldn't we? Absolutely. Teams still just getting some shots up just to warm themselves up. Great to have you all on board on the Basketball England YouTube channel for tonight's top of the table clash between the Rockets and the Storm. Hemel leading 45 to 30 at present. Good to see some good comments on the feed as well. People watching all the way from Canada and Jordan as well. Also nice to have a Trent Monkman Appreciation Society on the YouTube feed as well. Of course, Trent Monkman, a Canadian guard, studying his Masters at the University of Hertfordshire, just along the road from Hemel.
Yeah, they've really solidified that partnership this year with Hertfordshire Uni, and there's 6 players on this Hemel roster that are involved with the Hertfordshire Uni and are involved in the D3 program.
Now, great to see the partnership between Hemel and the University of Hertfordshire, almost the same as Reading and JMA as well. Of course, JMA play their games under the Rockets guys in the EABL and WEABL. Here is Olerarin as the matchup continues, and Olerarin goes inside and a foul.
Yeah, big play for that. That's exactly what we were talking about, right? That was a natural break in play. It was a natural timeout. And Salmon Rosado will be welcoming a third timeout in this first half. So really good for them to have a bucket and one on the first possession.
Probably the best answer that Samit Nurizadeh could have out of that lengthy break was a score and a potential 3-point play. As we mentioned, Victor Olerarin was held scoreless in Loughborough last week. Now off the mark here, Motton, who by his accounts has had quite a quiet game thus far. Nelson Henry. 9 to shoot for Nelson Henry. Kicks it out. Motton dancing with Pinnock, driving, puts it up, in and out, and Chamberlain the rebound.
That's much better from the Rockets, scrapping it up and fighting in there.
Just need to convert those into points. Do the Rockets. They trail by 13, 45-32. Olerarin inside Pinnock. Pinnock over Newman, couldn't get it to go, and on the follow, Poorman doesn't get it to fall. Ball batted around like the hot potato, and Newman picks up the pieces. Rockets lead, or Rockets trail by 13 here. Nelson Henry looking for help. Chamberlain, a good defender in his own right. And the turnover, Olerarin comes away with it. And now Rockets can break 3 on 2. Chamberlain on the spin. And a travelling violation has been called. Good defence there from Motton. He understood exactly what Chamberlain was going to do. And as soon as he spun, it was too late and a travel was called. Timeout, Mark Clark.
Yeah, just pulled the chair away then. And really unfortunate for Reading that they got really 2 good, absolutely fantastic defensive stops, and then they couldn't quite convert in transition. Hemel now will be talking about what they're going to do against this 5-out sort of switching defense. They're trapping in the post. They'll be talking about how they're going to exploit that now, as opposed to the bigger lineups that we saw before.
Absolutely, it was a 3-on-2 break, and Simon Chamberlain, unfortunately for him, couldn't get it to drop. But a good start out of that lengthy break from the Rockets, getting that 3-point play. Of course, the free throw was missed, but a good aggressive start there from the Rockets.
I love the fact that they're now trying to look to trap the big fellas inside, and you can see on that last possession, Reece Pinnock runs over to trap. He comes off when Nelson Henry backs off, then Zane Poorman goes to trap. Reece looking for the next threat, so it looks like they're now going to trap, and they're going to zone away from the ball. So they're going to try and neutralize all 3 spaces of the court. That's rim to corner, wing, and strong side wing.
Of course, Reading playing a doubleheader here at Loddon Valley this weekend, and our NBL live cameras will be back here tomorrow. A crunch-kicking semi-final ahead as the Rockets host the Derby Trailblazers here. Of course, Derby are in league action in Derby tonight. They're playing the Bristol Hurricanes. As a foul at mid-court has been called on Zane Poorman. One thing you mentioned, well, between you when you were having your conversation earlier, is Hemel have that's only their 4th foul. Well, that was their 4th foul of this game, their first team foul of the second period. That talks a lot about the patience and the aggression, keeping it smart defensively.
Yeah, they've been able to contain and play defense without foul, and that's a massive part of the game. If you don't lose a 3-point battle and you don't put teams to the line, it's really, really hard to score enough points to get a dub.
Inside,
oh my
Ellis,
God.
The throwdown off the feed from Motton.
Matt Ellis, evolution above the rim.
2 quick dunks for Matt Ellis in this one. Olorere in a 3, no good. Rockets struggling from downtown in this one so far. They are currently just 4 of 9, but struggling in this second period. Still better than the 1 for 23 last week against Loughborough, I guess, as Chamberlain losing his footwork inside. Nelson Henry with the rebound.
And Nelson Henry defensively is being allowed to zone off a little bit. I'd love to see Portman be used as a screener and free up some of those guards.
Ellis again, this time too strong. And here is Portman, putting the moves on Nelson Henry. Finds Olorere in burst of speed. Out it goes to Chamberlain. Sets his feet, but is short with the 3. And Ellis scoops it over Olorere. Here is Newman. Motten. Offensively, he's been a little quiet, but he's getting the job done at the point guard role. What a pass, and as he blows the dunk, but it's fouled. What a find, though, from Newman.
Yeah, again, the threat of the inside play, opening up the skip pass, and then a great cut to the basket by Eze, and a find inside from Newman.
Newman so far with 4 assists, 5 points. He was looking for assist number 5 there, but Veronese instead will head to the line for 2 points the old-fashioned way. Second season now with the Storm. Veronese, of course, he spent a couple of seasons ago, was at Worthing.
Yeah, very versatile player, Veronese. Can guard 1 through 4, super athlete, and just shows how deep Hemel are that he comes off the bench for them, sometimes as a 7 for the 8 guy.
Of course, was instrumental in Hemel's playoff success last season, culminating in that narrow win over the Reading Rockets in an absolute thriller at the National Basketball Performance Centre in Manchester. And he gets his first points of the game, does Veronese. Here is Olorere, loses footing, but just about gets it to Clark, who airballs his floater. Right now, Reading in a bit of a funk. Newman, a pull-up 3, no good. And Pinnock the rebound. Pace is frantic at the moment. Pinnock, and a blocking foul on Michael Motten.
Yeah, just a step late there. Tried to get in front and draw the charge, but it's a block.
Right now, though, Charlie, Reading in a bit of a funk offensively there, and an air ball from Mitch Clark. You don't see that very often.
No, absolutely not. I'm not too worried about the Rockets offensively. They've got problems to solve, for sure, or challenges, should I say, but again, it's the defensive end. I listened to Coach Smith in his last timeout talking about moving the ball after entering the ball in the post, and they got 2 free throws as a result last offense.
Clark inside, Pinnock the layup, no, on the follow, Masangu.
Yeah, Coach wanted a double dribble from Mitch Clark there, but all the same, it's a great find. Missed the shot, but then Ty Nasangu with a tip back in.
4 points off the second chance from Nasangu in this one. He now moves on to 6. Ellis from the foul line. I think that was a pass intended for Nelson Henry. Ball goes out of bounds, and Hemel will keep the ball.
He's again looking for that high-low, but a good job there of just deflecting the pass and causing some disruption.
Trent Monkman will check back in. Sam Newman will take a seat. Mark Clark calls another timeout as the Hemel Storm lead 49-34.
I think one stat we haven't touched on yet is the amount of Movember that we're seeing. And I'm pretty sure that Hemel are winning that battle. It's like 4-0 by my count.
Well, we spoke earlier, didn't we, to assistant coach Michael Darlow. We had a long chat, didn't we, Ian, with Michael before the game, and even his own family was surprised of the Movember look that Michael Darlow is actually rocking.
Yeah, after 30 years, there's a little bit of a shadow creeping in there, and he's joined the crew for the Movember.
Of course, recently got married, did Michael Darlow, and on air we will say a belated congratulations to him. We do wonder how his wife now does put up with him, I guess, eh? But no, congratulations, the Darlow family. Obviously happy with the marriage. And Michael was not a bad player in his day, but a very good assistant coach. But one thing he did say to us in a jovial way is he's glad he doesn't have to do post-game interviews with us, of course. When Drew Spinks was head coach, he would force Michael to do the post-game and the pre-game interviews with us. And now, obviously, Mark Clark can take that reign.
Yeah, I think he's being very humble there. He speaks very well, but he is a fantastic assistant coach and a really, really good compliment to Coach Mark Clark with this Hemel team.
Absolutely. Of course, Mark Clark had incredible success with the London Lions women's team before coming here to Hemel, and has done a fantastic job with this squad as Tremichael Motton, easy pull-up jumper is money.
Yeah, that's easy money, and he's not an explosive scoring guard, but he has a lightning quick release, and he plays off that and gets to his spots.
Reading doing a very good job of pinning the ball around the perimeter. As Nasangu has it, they go back again. 8 to shoot for the Rockets. Mismatch here. Clark looks to take advantage. Fall-away layup is blocked by Ellis. That will stay a Rockets ball with 2.9 on the shot clock.
That's the beauty of Matt Ellis there, just covering up the gap that they left when they got isolated on Darian Nelson-Henry. Just comes across and makes a defensive play.
Got his fingernails to that. And Mark Clark, of course, happy that Matt Ellis didn't cut his nails before this game just so he could get that block. But 2.9 on the shot clock, 51-34 in favour of the Storm, and a wild pass. Clark just about gets it, doesn't get the drop. Nasangu on the follow, and Nasangu will go to the foul line.
What a play from Mitch Clark that is. A real high IQ play. Jumps up, knows there's only 0.5 seconds left on the clock, so just pushes it up towards the rim. Good hustle from Nasangu. Interesting on the play before, Mitch Clark got that switch that he wanted against Nelson-Henry. It's only the first time that switch hasn't ended in a good outcome for Reading Rockets. So we talked earlier about the fact it was hard for them to get the matchups they wanted, and now when they do get them, they need to punish them.
Well, what a season Nasangu has had for the Rockets, averaging 10 points, 8 boards this season, 65% from the floor. Of course, a former Worthing Thunder London elite big man, freakishly athletic, and we've seen him flying high here at Loddon a few times this season.
I'd be encouraged if I was Reading right now. They've managed to slow Hemel down a little bit as they see the turnover here from Reese Pinnock. And the momentum right now is firmly in the Rockets' favour. If they can string together a couple of scores, they can get this down to single digits going into the half.
And that's what Reese Pinnock is good at. And that's what we don't talk about enough, is his tenacious defence. He proved it just there at mid-court. Here is Clark looking to put the moves on Ellis. Has to step back. 6 on the shot clock for Clark. A 3. And that's no good. Again, Nasangu on the follow. Another second chance point for Nasangu.
And that's why the big guy's so important. Rockets with a bigger lineup with Hopkins and Nasangu in. And a travel call.
And a travel has been called on Veronese. Again, good defense, patient defense from the Rockets. Nasangu now moves to 9 points, 4 rebounds, flirting again in early stages with his double-double, which he's become very familiar with this season, as Clark has it. Noise intensifies as Olarerin wants a foul, but no good. Here is Newman, the pass. Beautiful basketball from the Storm, and the finish by Eze deserved.
Showtime basketball on the break with a touch pass and a great finish from Eze.
Tremichael Motton, almost a volleyball-like pass as Pinnock bumps Motton. Olarerin nails a 3 from his favourite spot.
Really important. Storm starting to slow down offensively, so Rockets needed to answer back that last possession.
First 3 for Victor Olarerin, now 1 for 3 from downtown. And it's a 13-point lead for the Storm. Monkburn is fouled by Hopkins.
I really like where this game is going tempo-wise. You know, Rockets have found a way to slow down Hemel on the offensive end, and now they're starting to generate the looks they want as well. Looks like we're headed for a nice finish here, or a nice finish to the half.
That's the thing, the intensity has not changed in this game. It's been quick-paced, high intensity. See Hemel have a 13-point lead, but Rockets are matching them with pace. They wanted to play transition basketball here tonight, but it seems like Hemel are matching them now in that statistic in transition when they started out wanting to play inside and bump their man inside under the basket.
Yeah, and it's a credit to Reading, the way they've changed up the tempo of the game. They started with that double team in the post, and now they've gone back to their sort of more traditional lineup, and actually a lineup where now Ty Nasangu's had some joy on the offensive glass, and he's able to assert himself inside.
1:34 remaining in the second period here at the Valley. Clark gets away from Ezzy, the extra pass, Olorarian off the window.
This bigger lineup for Reading working well. They've got three strong guards of Olorarian, Clark and Champion in, and they've got Pullman and Nasangu ready to do the job on the defensive end.
Oh, Nasangu was looking to take that away from Motton, but instead the Rockets break in transition. That'll be a foul, I believe, on Newman, who bumped Olorarian. Just checking to see if that'll be 2 shots. It will be, so continuation of play. First foul on Sam Newman.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as we were just talking about, this bigger lineup for Reading is where they're starting to have the most success. The tough part is they're still struggling to score on the offense now, which is the bit we said we weren't worried about so much. But you start to just see a little bit more success. Nasangu getting after the boards. A little bit harder now for Storm to get the looks they want. They're starting to have to shoot later in the shot clock, which was the challenge we set Reading earlier in the game. So this game looks like it might come to an interesting end in this first half, and it could be a single-digit gap.
And also, as well, it's about limiting the turnovers. Right now, Hemel have scored 14 points off 7 Reading turnovers. That's quite a statistic.
Yeah, absolutely. A very good statistic. If you're going to steal the ball away, you must, you know, it's only worth it if you could turn it into points down the other end.
Motton, who's only got 6 points so far, 29 points last week, averages 19 a game. Here is Nelson Henry looking for options, finds it in Monkman, who airballs his 3. Of course, Trent Monkman back into the team after nursing a leg injury, and on the Sangu going all the way, that looks like it'll count. Referee's just conferring for just a second whether that will count. And the bucket will stand, so a 3-point play opportunity for Ty Nasangu.
Yeah, really important. There's a couple of things you know are going to happen when you come to a Reading Rockets game. You know Ty Nasangu's going to live above the rim. You know Mitch Clark is going to come off the pick and roll. And you know that Justin Hopkins is going to get his inside looks. I think Storm have done a really good job of stopping Hopkins today. It's been a really tough game for him. But for players like Nasangu to pick it up on the rebounds and Pinnock to defend hard down the other end, Pullman to do his job on the big guys inside, Reading is starting to see some success now.
Victor Olorarian was looking to get a tip in there, but didn't get it to fall. Ty Nasangu now the 3rd Reading player in double digits. Victor Olorarian has 13, Clark has 10. Newman down the lane, good defense again from the Rockets. Another stop from Reading, who have narrowed the gap to 9. Champion picks up his dribble, but just about finds Pullman. Shot clock is off, final seconds of this second period, and Reading looking to eat away at the lead again. They've trailed by as many as 17 as Clark drives to the hoop. Both teams are in the penalty, so Mitch Clark will head to the foul line. An 83% shooter this season from the stripe. As Jack Burnell will check in for the first time, and Tremichael Motton will take a seat. Ty Nasangu comes out, and Justin Hopkins comes in.
Yeah, that'll be a defensive play there from Samit Rezade. Want to make sure that Nasangu's got plenty of fouls to give in the second half. We know he's someone that can pick up a couple quite quickly, so smart sub that from Samit Rezade.
And Jack Burnell coming in for the first time. Of course, we know him quite well. 9th season now with Hemel, a loyal servant to the Storm family.
Yeah, absolute sniper from 3, and see if he can space the floor right now and get a look off.
Of course, he's done some damage here over the years as Jack Burnell during the COVID season hit 6 3-pointers. That was just one of the highlights of his glittering career with the Storm. Final seconds of the second period. Newman has it, time winding down. Newman misses the 3, and that'll end the half here at Loddon Valley. The Hemel Storm led by as many as 17 points, but their lead has been cut 55-48, a 7-point gap. A good end to the half for the Reading Rockets. Charlie, we'll start with you.
Absolutely, it's been a battle of the bigs today, if you like. Tyner Sangu doing a really good job with his 5 rebounds and 11 points with just 9.5 minutes. So he's got plenty of time and fouls to use up in the second half. Important points for Victor Loddon and Mitch Clark as well, just managing to chip away from the deficit, and that will do a huge amount for them mentally to go from the bigger deficit they had to now just down by 7 points going into halftime. Can they keep that momentum going? Because another run for Storm could be deadly.
Victor Loddon, 13 points, 4 of 6 from the field, chucking 2 assists as well. Matt Ellis, though, Ian, leading all scorers right now for the Storm. 16 points on 8 for 10 shooting. He's been dominant inside, made his first 5 field goals.
Yeah, I think of those 8 for 10, he maybe made 1 jumper, and that was early in the game. Other than that, he's lived at the rim, and it's not even been off the offensive glass. Been catching inside and finishing. It's been off dump downs. But what I was really impressed with Rockets there to sort of finish the half was the ability to scrap it up and speed up the Hemel guards a little bit, and then not allow any dump-off passes, any drop-offs at the end of these drives. And now they've covered up, and if you said to Coach Samet you're going to be down 7 at the half at the end of the first quarter, he would have taken it all day long, and here they are.
Well, we are at half-time here at Loddon Valley. The Hemel Storm lead the Reading Rockets 55-48. But before we go, Charlie, we're going to end it with you. Of course, you're a big part of the Reading Rockets family, and it is a very momentous occasion here with the Rockets family today. The Johnson family have been synonymous with basketball in this area for many, many years. They've been the heartbeat of the Reading Rockets, and one of its chair people, Helen Johnson, celebrates her 80th birthday, or as Reading call it, 40 plus 40.
Yes, Helen did not want to see any 80s around. I can promise you that. No, but look, the Johnson family is so important to all of us here in Reading. When you become a coach, a player, a person that helps around Reading, the first thing you've got to do is you've got to meet the family. You've got to meet the people from Reading Rockets, which is Matt Johnson, Helen Johnson, Sam Johnson, and that's why this moment, as you can see in Loddon Valley right now, is so cherished by all of us, to let them know how much we appreciate them and all that they do for us is valued and loved for.
Well, it is half-time here, and the Hemel Storm lead 55-48. It'll be an absolutely enticing third period, and we'll be back in roughly 10 to 12 minutes' time. Clark finds a bit of room and connects with a 3. Mitch Clark driving high degree of difficulty, gets it to that's a 5, 17-12. Izu inside. Drives down now, driving hard to the hoop. Back-to-back layups for Matthew D. Reading need to catch some sort of fire, and Mitch Clark. First round is inside Ellis the finish. Inside Dizu, he'll go all the way and he'll finish. Right now, Hopkins driving. Hopkins high off the window, no good. Nasanga on the follow. Yeah, good. Mutton all the way. Freedom of the lane. Champion. Step side 3. Got it.
Big hit. Veteran play.
Inside.
Oh my
Ellis,
God.
The throwdown. Clark inside. Pinnock the layup. No. On the follow. Here is Newman. The pass. Beautiful basketball from the Storm, and the finish by Loddon. Nails a 3 from his favourite. Gets away from Ezzy. The extra pass. Loddon off the window. There's his pieces, and in transition, Zane Portman with the hoop. And the floater from Ellis, and 2 quick field. Extra pass. Newman wide open for 3. Clark finds a bit of room and connects with a 3. Mitch Clark driving high degree of difficulty, gets it to that's a 5, 17-12. Izu inside. Drives down now, driving hard to the hoop. Back-to-back layups for Matthew D. Reading need to catch some sort of fire in Mitch Cotting. First round is inside Ellis the finish. Inside Dizu, he'll go all the way. Hello everyone, welcome back to Loddon Valley, where at the moment the Storm lead 55-48 over the Reading Rockets. John Hobbs, Charlie Haynes, Ian Berry on the commentary booth. And gentlemen, it's going to be an enticing start to this third quarter. It's about who can make the first run, really, isn't it? Reading made their burst in the later stages of the second period. Hemel had a great start in the first quarter, led by as many as 17 before Reading came back. Charlie, for you, how would you feel coming out of the locker room, coming into the third period if you're Reading?
I would be confident about the way that first half finished. I think it was important to get it down to single digits. I think starting a second half down 10+ points to a team as talented as Hemel Storm are is a tough ask. I think it's really important that they now get the first run. I think if Storm can get this up to 12-15 points because they go on the first run of the second half, I think that could put Reading in a lot of difficulty. So I think it's important that Reading have a hot start in the second half.
And as we see some of the highlights from the first half, there's been a lot of good highlights for Reading, especially in that latter stages of the second period. If you're Mark Clark, Ian, got to be not concerned, but just try and get your players just composed, because they had a big lead until Reading made their move.
Absolutely. I think the word is composed, right? When they played out of structure there and they were able to get the ball inside, they had no issue scoring, pretty much score at will. So I think it'll just be hammering home that point of continue to do what we were doing early in the game, play with structure and find our bigs inside.
So we're about to start the third period. Of course, Reading are in action here tomorrow in the Kick King semi-final against the Derby Trailblazers. Derby are in action currently at the moment playing the Bristol Hurricanes. They're leading that one 56-50. That's in the latter stage of the third period as we speak, as Tremichael Motton gets an early steal and the Storm can set their offense. Here is Motton. And a wayward pass from Motton, and Hopkins says thank you very much. One-on-one, Hopkins gets it to go.
Yeah, really good, just what Reading needed. 5-point deficit now, but they have to get a bigger run. Can they maybe get it to a tie game?
Biggest scoring run for the Rockets so far has been an 8-0 run. They'll need another one of them right now as St. Paulman looked for the steal. Nelson Henry was wise to it. Newman a three, rolling around and out. And here is Paulman putting on the brakes and fouled as he passed mid-court.
And that's going to be the shot that's there for Sam Newman and for Hemel as they double from the backside. If Nelson Henry's willing to get rid of it early, they're going to have open outside shots. And whether they knock him down or not might be the difference in this game.
So again, the pace, the intensity, pretty much unchanged from the first half. Both teams really going tooth and nail at each other. Paulman under the basket has to kick it out. Olarerin a three, shot clock at 7. That goes off the back iron and patted away from Newman into the welcome hands of Tremichael Motton. And a wild pass, but just about finds Ellis, who is fouled. I think that will be on Mitch Clark. If so, that'll be Mitch Clark's second foul.
Hemel fortunate there, a little bit of a short pass, could have been picked off. They're lucky to get out of bounds here with the foul.
Hemel Storm lead the league in field goal percentage, and Veronese with an easy lane to the basket.
Yeah, so much attention on the post there, it just left the middle of the paint wide open for Veron to just cut down and throw it down hard.
Hopkins finds Olarerin driving down Main Street. Olarerin picks up his dribble, puts up a three. That's off to the right, and Tremichael Motton has it off the rebound from Ellis. As he thought about the three, and instead kicks it out to Motton. Motton now dancing inside, and Ezzy under the basket puts it in. Good start from the Hemel Storm.
That's super smart from Veron. Could have taken the transition three, passes it up, and then gets an easy one inside. Just stick with what your advantage is.
Well, they're shooting nearly 65% from the field. As said, they lead the league in field goal percentage. at 49%. Olorarian a three, no good, and Reading really struggling from downtown, but they're relying a lot on shooting from the perimeter.
Yeah, they are, and I think it's important that they find a way to get the ball inside to out if they're going to be trying to be a threat from the outside. You just need to try and get defense helping a little bit, get them to have more feet in the paint. Then when you kick it out, not only could you have an open shot, but you got a guy steaming at you that you can try and go past.
Well, Reading are 9th in the league at 30% from downtown this season. Early stages, of course. Motton a three, almost a set shot, but didn't get it to fall. Here is Clark. Clark, nice pass, and the trailing Hopkins. He wants a foul. A technical foul has been called. Referee Tahiraka in good position, and he's had enough, and a technical foul called.
Yeah, tough one on that one is the fact that the referee's seen the ball go from hands into the ground within a split second. It looked like the ball had been hit quite cleanly. Maybe a little bit of frustration shown there as well.
Well, Hopkins, who actually leads the team in points, averages around 13 points a game, just a shade under 14 actually, but letting his frustration get the better of him. Only has 2 points so far as Motton hits the resulting free throw, and possession will stay with Hemel as they now lead by 10. They've restored their double-digit advantage. Reading's unbeaten start to life at Loddon Valley this season is being put under pressure here. Still a lot of basketball to go, around 13 minutes to be played. Ellis finds Motton. 7 to shoot for Tremichael Motton. Driving at Olorarian inside. Nelson Henry will go to the foul line.
Yeah, you can see Darian Nelson Henry working for like 7-8 seconds there to get position, fighting one guy, fighting the next guy, and then Hemel just patient enough to draw the next defender and try and drop it off, and he's at the line again.
And Darian Nelson Henry heading to the foul line. Had 17 points, 11 rebounds when he last matched up with the Rockets. Of course, that was in the playoff final in Manchester. Actually had a double-double as well last week against the Breakers, 14 and 10. University of Pennsylvania graduate Darian Nelson Henry makes both free throws. Here is Nasangu. Olorarian. Reading again zipping the ball around the perimeter. Now they go to the mid-side. Here is Hopkins on the spin, the hook, no good. Good defense, good help defense from Nelson Henry. Motton in rhythm, short with his three. Nasangu bats it to Olorarian. Right now, it's just one pass shoot right now for Hemel.
It's not a bad shot in transition, but Reading got to hope they don't start making those, or this game's get out of hand.
Olorarian with the hang time in the finish.
Important bucket for Reading. Again, we said Hemel have had the hot start in this second half, so it's important Reading don't let that get out of control.
50% from the field now. Victor Olorarian has 15 points. Chuck in 2 assists for good measure. 6 to shoot for the Storm. Nelson Henry again fouled. And that'll be team fouls as well. So Darian Nelson Henry going to the line. 5:53 remaining in the third period.
Yeah, they're fighting down there. They're fighting him for every inch. Ty Nazanyu's doing a great job of really trying to be physical and keep him out of the paint. But he's just such a load. He is difficult to stop. And now they've got 5 minutes 53 to play while they're in the penalty, and that's going to hurt.
And Matt Ullman will come in. Ty Nasangu will head to the bench. 11 points, 5 rebounds for Ty Nasangu. A very quiet 11 points, mind you. A lot of those points is coming off the second chance. As Matthew Dizu will come back into the game for the Storm. What an introduction he had for Hemel off the bench. And I think Veronese will check out. I'm not sure. Yes, he will. Just had to make sure who that was.
A bit of a like-for-like sub. Dissy will give you maybe a little bit more in transition in terms of offense, and Veron might be a little bit more suited to fight on the defensive end. But when Matt did come in early in the first quarter, he had a quick 8 points in 3.5 minutes, and we'll see if he can impact the flow of the game here.
Nelson Henry makes the first foul shot. Darian now moves on to 12, make that 13. 5 of 6 from the stripe tonight for Darian Nelson Henry. 4 of 4 from the field as well. Had a big showing here the last time Hemel were at Loddon Valley. He had 30 points for the Storm in that one. Here is Clark to Ullman. Pinnock with 6 on the shot clock. Pinnock dancing with Ellis. Hopkins wide open, a 3, no. Pinnock skies for the board, and Reading can reset. Pinnock can shoot them, and that's why.
Yeah, big shot from Reece Pinnock. Rockets not getting much success out of their set offense, so big shots like that from Reece Pinnock are key to try and get this lead narrowed down.
Led the Rockets in three-point percentage last season at 43%. Off the ball foul has been called on Matt Ellis. And a much-needed stop for the Rockets, who trail by 9, looking to eat away at the deficit.
I've been enjoying watching that inside battle. There's a lot of Rockets guards trying to deal with the bigs of Hemel Storm in transition. And I've just been watching Nelson Henry and Ellis just fighting their way inside with them a little bit. They've been asking the referees for fouls on the Reading Rockets, and now for it to go the other way, I can understand why Ellis is frustrated.
Well, throughout this game, the Hemel Storm have shot at least 60% from the field. Backcourt violation. That's a rare turnover in that sense, but a very unnecessary one, and Reece Pinnock will be kicking himself for that.
Yeah, that's a tough one for him, but again, it's not something you do on purpose, is it? So I'm sure he'll bounce back from it.
I said Hemel have not gone below 60% from the field, but right now they've now shooting 57, so their percentages are slightly dropping, but they still hold the lead. Veronese wide open, a 3 short, so that percentage will go down even further. Here is Pullman. Clark attacking, Clark driving, Clark finishing, and a foul.
Yeah, it's good momentum swing there. Reece Pinnock with a 3, Mitch Clark with a layup and 1. Rockets starting to fill. Loddon Valley get behind them.
Mitch Clark going down Loddon Valley Avenue, getting the and 1. And Mitch Clark, an 83% foul shooter for the season. One of the better three-throw shooters in the league, Mitch Clark. No one went to the line more than he did last season. As the noise intensifies, and quickly it's silenced because the referees have blown their whistle. That's one way to silence a crowd, blow your whistle.
No, we do love a third quarter Mitch, John, don't we? We've seen him. He loves a third quarter here at Loddon Valley, so big play for him. Hopefully will give him some momentum.
Averaging 13 points, 4 boards so far this season, Mitch Clark, 30% from the field. Conversely, though, when we switch our attention to the Kit King Trophy, 58% from the field, Mitch Clark. So he likes the Kit King Trophy, does Mitch Clark. Of course, the NBL 1 season slightly longer, isn't it, in terms of games played?
I think Reading might be on something here. They've been really, really physical before the catch inside. And then they're doubling and they're being scrappy and giving up the outside look. And Hemel so far not able to knock it down.
Motta bumps Pinnock, floater, money.
He is tough. If he gets going as well as the bigs, it's going to be tough to stop him.
It's not easy getting a shot over Reece Pinnock, one of the elite defenders in the league. Only 6'1", Reece Pinnock, but still tenacious. Ullman a 3, that's way off, and Newman collects his 4th rebound. Motton sets his feet, puts up a 3 and nails a 3.
Yeah. This is what Motton can do, an explosive scoring guard from the perimeter.
Timeout, Samit Nurizadeh. Tremichael Motton now moves on to 10 points. That's his first 3-pointer after missing his first 4. And Samit Nurizadeh, a wise timeout.
Yeah, momentum's been swinging back and forth. Reading got it down to 5. Hemel got it up to 12. Now we're stuck at 11. So it's one of those where I think Samit realizes this can't continue. Reading needs to try and get a maybe 6-8 to 0 run at some point. They need to find a way of trying to stop Hemel, but they have to convert on the offensive end. We've seen Mitch Clark get an and one, Reese Pinnock make a 3, so then the long Matt Ormond shot that went over the rim, and then to give up 2 points down the arena is cost-worthy. It's a 5-point swing, and they can't afford that against a team as strong as Hemel.
Absolutely, Hemel right now feeling it from the field. They're now on to 59% from the field. Conversely, the Rockets shooting just 40%. That's their average so far for the season. But right now, Hemel restoring their double-digit lead. Their biggest lead of the game was 17 points. They had it narrowed down to as little as 5, but have remained composed and have restored their cushion. Hemel Storm fans enjoying themselves here in Reading, and some of the Reading fans, despite being down, making a lot of noise, getting sweets chucked at them by the game nighter MC. Always a carnival atmosphere here at Loddon. But right now their Rockets are down by 11 and they're looking to eat away at the deficit, and there's a balloon on the court right now, but that's quickly been taken away. And now, no, a backcourt violation has been called.
Yeah, and that's the second time Reading have had one this quarter.
It's on Pinnock again as well.
It's cost-worthy, and those kind of mistakes are not mistakes you can have against undefeated teams.
10 turnovers now for the Rockets, and the Storm have capitalised, scoring 14 points off those turnovers. Here's Tremichael Motton. Nelson Henry for 3, gets it to go. You don't leave Darian Nelson Henry open, an unassuming 3-point shooter, but he can hit them.
Yeah, he's been doing it from inside, and now he kills them from the perimeter as well. Big game for Darian Nelson Henry.
Up and under on the follow, though, agonisingly just drops in from Portman. Reese Pinnock with the up and under layup agonisingly fell out. 12-point advantage for the Storm. Nelson Henry. Newman. Cross it goes to Motton. 5 to shoot for Tremichael Motton. Drives, goes to the lane, scoop layup is good. Yeah. It's all Hemel right now. Reading are being pushed.
Motton really found his groove now with that 3-point look and a couple at the rim. He's cooking.
Reading need to stem the bleeding. Horman still has it. Champion back in. Here is Clark. 5 to shoot for the Rockets. Clark drives, Clark lays it up. No, it's no good. Good defense from Newman, and a foul has been called. Fouls on Newman. So Rockets get a little reprieve there. Sam Newman can't believe it. That'll be his first foul, mind, but right now Hemel flirting with team fouls. As Tyner Sangu will check in and Zane Portman will check out. Sam Newman still can't believe that call. Hopkins. Clark. He can put them up from there, but decides to go inside. Deflected pass. Nelson Henry comes up with it. Motton, good defense there from Champion, and Mitch Clark retrieves it. Hopkins, the extra pass to Sangu, looking for the throwdown. Hemel were wise to it. Wide open Motton. Picks up his dribble though. And a foul called on Champion, and right now it's getting chippy out there, isn't it?
And this is the issue with giving up those personal fouls early and now being in the penalty is every little reach, every little love tap on the arm, and you're sending them straight back to the free throw line for easy points.
2 fouls now on Champion. That'll send Darian Nelson-Henry back to the line. As Hopkins takes a seat, Olarerin comes in, and they really need Victor Olarerin now, don't they?
They need a scorer, I think, is what they need, because they're struggling to get the Hemel points down, so they're going to have to try and do their best to try and match it. So whether it's a Mitch Clark takeover, whether it's Nsangu getting another 8 to 10 points on the board in the next 5-6 minutes of the game clock, or if it's someone like a Lewis Champion or Victor Olarerin to hit a couple of threes, they need momentum, and they need it now.
And they need a bit of luck as well, and a Darian Nelson-Henry missed free throw will remedy that. That's 2 missed free throws now for Nelson-Henry. Reading fans still in good voice, but they need something. They need a spark with 2:04 remaining in the third. Clark surveying the options, putting the moves on Nelson-Henry. Step back jumper off the back iron. Long rebound by Eze. Eze driving, Eze fouled.
And we're getting out in transition now and getting that transition game going, starting to get to the line.
Hemel now with trips number 15 and 16 to the foul line tonight. Reading 10 for 13 from the stripe, so a lot of free throws from both teams in this one. As Eze misses the first. Of course, Veron Eze, a product of the very well-coached Barking Abbey Academy. Of course, Barking Abbey were here at the early stages of the Kit King Trophy, weren't they, Charlie? As they gave Reading probably their toughest test of the season so far on this court.
They absolutely did. Really impressed with Ricky Bournemore's side on that day.
And Hemel right now leading by 15 as Mitch Clark will head to the line. Currently 3rd in the NBL in assists, Mitch Clark, but struggling right now in this one. 5 of 13 from the field. Was 3 of 15 last week against Loughborough. That is perfect from the foul line. Right now, 5 of 5 as Sam Newman ends his rest, comes back in. A minute and 39 remaining in the third period. Newman drives, kicks it out. Open 3, Jack Burnell, that misses. Newman with the rebound, passes it straight to Mitch Clark. Another turnover for Hemel. Clark driving, Clark misses the layup. And Reading get another bite of the cherry. Champion, Olarerin, acres of space, a 3.
Big hit, that's just what we said Reading would need, but now they have to get stops. It's all good scoring, but if you go and give up an open layup, a post-up, or an open 3 down the other end, it doesn't count for much.
Motton, here is Dizu. Dizu driving hard to the hoop. He'll go to the foul line. Matthew Dizu, what a performance he's had in spurts off the bench.
Yeah, very limited time he's been able to come in and put his stamp on the game. Had a quick 8 early, and now we see him get downhill as the attention is on Darian Nelson-Henry and get to the line.
Ty Nsangu now in foul trouble with 54.1 seconds remaining. He's on 4 fouls, so that means Simon Chamberlain will check in just a moment. Matthew Dizu now, 2nd season with Hemel, and spent a couple of years at Essex. And Ian, you're like this, actually had a very good summer, did Matthew Dizu, in the Hoops Fix Pro-Am. Of course, you're good friends with the founder of Hoopsvik, Sam Neter, and what a thing that Sam Neter is doing right now, renovating several basketball courts across the country, mainly near your home ends in Brighton as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Hoopsvik's doing great things for basketball in the UK. The Brighton Beach court just been renovated, and actually we're working on getting the Eastbourne court renovated.
Of course, you and Sam have had many battles down Eastbourne's street ball courts, haven't you, as Tremichael Motton in the corner, short with his three. Chamberlain just about collects, and away comes Pinnock to the races. 2-on-1, Pinnock all the way.
Yeah, back down to 10-point difference, but Hemel here on the chance. Have the last shot of the quarter, make it count.
Dizu turns it over. Offensive foul was called anyway. I think Victor Olorarian would have rather have broken away in transition there, but an offensive foul was called.
Yeah, Rockets would have benefited from a transition opportunity, but what it does give them is a chance just to set up their offense and get the desired look. The only thing I'm wondering is, would that count as an off-the-ball foul? Would that count as a defensive foul? Because he turned the ball over, he passed it to Mitch Clark, which means Rockets now have possession. So if the contact happened after Mitch Clark caught the ball, it would be 2 shots. Well,
that should be you to answer, considering you're a qualified official,
wow.
aren't you?
I don't like to brag, John.
Well, I don't think Ian Berry is. I'm certainly not.
Absolutely am a qualified official, but don't tell too many people.
See, the things I don't know about basketball in Eastbourne, it kills me. But Reece Pinnock misses the first free throw. 9.8 seconds left in the third. Pinnock splits the free throws. And well, there was going to be a substitution. Referees didn't spot it. So final seconds of the third. Here is Newman spinning, and he is fouled with, I think there was 0.2 of a second left. That's a tough call.
Very tough, very tough. I mean, good from Sam to put pressure on the rim, but Reading will feel very, very tough one for them to take.
Especially as Samit Nurizade wanted desperately to bring a sub in. He actually called it to the table as the free throw was being shot. The referees, I don't think, heard the call being made.
And I think that's what Samit Nurizade is saying to the officials is the horn was pressed.
The horn sounded.
Did go, but then they let the game continue. So I think he's just checking on a rule here. If the horn goes, but the refs don't recognise it, does play continue? I think it does.
So 0.9 of a second have been put back on the game clock. A substitution will now come in. So Zane Portman will come in, probably a couple of seconds too late for Samit Nurizade's liking. Chamberlain checks out. Ada Tiba will come in for the Storm. Darian Nelson-Henry will come out. And Sam Newman will go to the line. Confusion here in the final seconds. As you said, Charlie, the horn did sound as that second free throw dropped. But the referees just obviously didn't listen amongst the noise here at the Valley.
Yeah, and it was a tactical sub that Samit Nurizade was wanting to make as well, because he goes for Zane Portman on the defensive end. So he probably wanted someone to come in there and have Zane come and be the stopper.
Ooh. It's a very intimate venue, Loddon Valley. Very noisy as well, as the first free throw from Newman has missed. Of course, Sheffield Sharks fans will get to experience this venue next month as well, as Newman splits the free throws. 0.9 of a second left in the third. Olorarian, that will be good if it goes, but it smacks the backboard and out. It's a 10-point lead for the Hemel Storm after the third period of play. Darian Nelson-Henry and Matt Ellis with 16 points each, leading the way for the Storm. Mitch Clark with 17 points. Victor Olorarian leading the way with 18, shooting 50% from the field. Even though it's a 10-point game, though, it's still open season. It's anyone's game, isn't it, Ian?
Do you know what? For all Hemel have started the first and the second half sort of on fire, getting what they want, getting to the foul line, getting Reading in the penalty. It's a 10-point game right now, and Samuel will be telling his guys, look, let's keep fighting. We need one run here, and we're right back to a 1 or 2 possession game. Looking at this game from the outside, looking in, you would think that Hemel might be up 20, 25 points this game. 10-point advantage going into the fourth is nothing in basketball. One run could be on.
And And Charlie, it's almost a role reversal from the playoff final last season. Reading led for the majority. Hemel had one minor lead in the first period and then took over in the fourth to lead it and then obviously go on to win it. It's almost roles reversed as we enter the fourth period. Reading had a slight advantage in the first period, but only led by 1 point. That was the only lead they had, and Hemel have led throughout. This could be a great advantage for Reading to exact a bit of revenge on that, isn't it?
It could be, I think, a big challenge for Reading going into this fourth quarter is the fact that Hemel haven't scored less than 23 points.
Yeah.
So they now have to try and find a way to, let's say, hold them to 12 to 15. So I can't see Reading scoring more than 25-26 in this fourth quarter.
Well, Reading need a big fourth quarter if they are to drown out the Storm. A 23-20 third period in favour of Hemel. Reading took the second period 27-23. Of course, Hemel racing away, shooting 72% in the first period, leading 32-21.
And for me now, it's defense without fouling. We saw Reading in that second period and early in the third figure out a little bit about how to stop the inside presence of Hemel, but then they got into the penalty and they slowed the game down. They're going to play defense now without fouling.
Dizu driving to the hoop already. And Nasangu collects the rebound. Number 7 for Ty Nasangu, 3 rebounds shy of his customary double-double here at Loddon. Here is Olarerin, gets the step on Newman, pass is deflected. Dizu says thank you very much. Bounce pass, Ezi all the way, agonizingly falls out. Step back from Clark, but slowly, methodically resets the play. 8 to shoot for the Rockets. Olarerin over Ellis.
Big hit from Victor Olarerin. That's an important one. 7-point game, sounds more like it.
The intensity, the noise is just rising a few decibels here at the Valley. And Darian Nelson-Henry silencing the crowd with a 2 inside.
Yeah, right back to work with that high-low action. And this is a massive lineup for Hemel. Sam 6'3", 6'4", Sam Newman being the smallest player out there.
What a move by Champion. And the finish from the Nasangu and a foul.
Great veteran play from Lewis Champion, splits the pick and roll, manages to draw the held defender, and then offloads it to Big Nasangu to get the layup and one.
Ty Nasangu, not traditionally the best of free throw shooters. He can hit them, but it's a part of his game that he does try and work on in the summer. Misses the free throw there, and Sam Newman will slow it down for the Storm. Chance of Storm from the Hemel crowd. There's a small smattering of them in the corner. Ellis a 3, big shot off the back iron. Ball batted around and picked up by Olarerin. Rebound number 3 for Victor to go with 21. Champion and a foul!
That's a huge shot for Lewis Champion. Not only does it reduce the deficit to 4, but it gives him a chance to make it a 1-possession game.
Huge shot from Lewis Champion. My goodness me, they needed that. And there's something going on with the Reading bench. Ty Nasangu now back on. Matt Ellis has fouled out. 5 fouls for him.
Wow, and that is massive in this game to get Matt Ellis out of the game with 8 minutes 20 on the clock, and we've got a 1-possession game.
Matt Ellis, 16 points, 3 rebounds. A 1-possession game at the Valley. Hemel have led by as many as 17 points, and Nasangu, he'll be fouled out now.
Oh, the Reading bench and Ty Nasangu not happy with that call.
And it's almost like for like now, Ian. First Ellis, now Nasangu.
That's a tough one as well. You've got Darian Nelson-Henry catching it 13, 14 feet from the basket. Not sure you need to go and reach for the ball there, but really, really tough. He had a hand on it.
Absolutely, not that far away from the basket as well.
think we've got a tee on the bench.
And we've got
from
another
Reading now.
technical foul. This time, yeah, the bench of Reading bench in the last 2 minutes especially have been incredibly animated, and the referees have had enough. So Tremichael Motton will head to the foul line.
I'd be interested to find out what was said or what that technical was for. He's got it on the bench, and I just think in a game as upbeat and exciting as this, I'm surprised to see him pull the trigger quite quickly on that one.
Well, for Tremichael Motton, that missed free throw was only his second missed free throw of the season. Currently, he was 18 of 19 before he missed that. Still a high percentage, mind you. Dizu a three, short, big rebound from Olarerin, and now the Rockets can reduce it to even one or maybe tie. Champion. Hopkins back to Champion for the tie. No good. Newman just about collects.
And this place would have erupted if Lewis Champion would have knocked that down.
Mark Clark wanted a timeout, but he's waved it off as Newman drives. Tremichael Motton is fouled by Champion, and at this stage of the game, just the slightest touch, the referees are going to spot it.
Yeah, and actually not a bad foul either. It's not necessarily a bad thing to have a couple of early team fouls, just because when you're in the fourth quarter, the last thing you want is to have one team foul with 2 minutes left and you need to foul. So it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world.
Well, two Rockets players now on 3 fouls, Champion and Hopkins. The rest either have 1 or 2. So not a bad foul, as you mentioned, but as the game progresses, and the referees will be keeping a vast eye on what each player is doing, you don't want foul trouble to creep up, especially with the score this tight.
Oh no, but Charlie makes a great point where, one, you're taking a foul there in a position where it's low risk, high reward, right? If he doesn't get called for it, he's running out and he's laying the ball up. And if he does get called for it, you're not quite in the penalty yet, and you're at a point where you're in control of how many team fouls you're on. And as Charlie alluded to, you don't want to get late in a game where you're down and you're trying to take fouls and get to the free throw line, and you've got 2 or you've got 3 to give. Not necessarily too bad of a thing to take a foul at this point.
Early stages of the fourth period here at the Valley. And the Derby Trailblazers, who will be visiting here tomorrow in the King Trophy semi-final, have defeated the Bristol Hurricanes 89-81. So a big win for the Trailblazers. And also that, this is a top of the table clash, isn't it? And Derby are amongst the top 4 right now, so that's a big result for Derby.
Yeah, absolutely is, and I think there's going to be all to play for this year. We spoke about it week after week.
Yeah.
There's so many talented teams in this league, so every win's important.
Newman a 3 from the corner, money!
And what a well-executed out-of-bounds play there. They knew that the double was going to come on the catch from Nelson Henry, and he just fires it back to the inbound, who's wide open for 3. 6-point game.
Huge 3, second 3 of this game for Sam Newman, now 2 of 6. Olarerin driving, good defense from Ezzy. It'll stay a Reading ball though. Michael Darlow and Mark Clark don't agree with the call. Still 8 on the shot clock. 6-point lead for the Storm. Hopkins, the floater, gets it to go.
Yeah, good response from Reading. Got lucky with the out of bounds, but they've managed to make it count.
Nearly a turnover there as well. Tremichael Motton just about regains his handle, gets it over the timeline. Nelson Henry wide open, gets it to go in his favourite spot from downtown.
Unbelievable. If he's going to make this and dominate inside the way he is, it's just such a tough cover.
2 of 2 from downtown, Darian Nelson Henry. Olarerin, step back 2, that's a 3 actually, no good. Rebound Ezzy. 11 rebounds now for Veron Ezzy. And the pass from Newman goes out of bounds.
I love the physicality that Veronese brought to this game. As you said, 11 rebounds, and he grabs that thing and he's shot out of a cannon to ignite the break there.
Timeout has been called, 86-79. The Rockets had got it to as little as 3 points, but Hemel, out of the timeout, respond perfectly.
It is so difficult against a team like Hemel Storm to come back multiple times. This is why we made the point early in the game. They couldn't allow a run to happen too early, because now it's fighting, clawing back, and every time they get close, it feels like Hemel just pull away with a couple of big shots, a couple of inside looks. You got big guys for the Hemel Storm, such as Nelson Henry, hasn't missed. Ellis, 8 of 11. So it's really difficult to try and control the presence they've got inside and contain shooters on the three-point line, such as Sam Newman.
Absolutely, and as the balloons fly around Loddon Valley, it's been a great contest. This has been a tremendous advert for NBL Division 1, and for Hemel, 5-0 right now. This will be their biggest win of the season, no doubt, if they are able to pull it out, but there is a lot of basketball to be played.
Absolutely, lots of basketball still to be played, and it's just a 7-point game, but as you say, what a huge victory this would be, and kind of stamp their dominance on the league at the moment if they could go 6-0 today without Monkman in the lineup.
Of course, Hemel a couple of seasons ago finished a perfect 41-0 in all competitions. It was a tough ask for Mark Clark to take over the reins from Drew Spinks after that season, but he's done a fantastic job here at Hemel. Horman inside, and the finish from Hopkins. Reading simply will not go away.
Huge shot from Justin Hopkins, really tough play. Went off 2 feet for the extra elevation. Bit of a tough call, Nelson Henry, but hey, Reading Loddon, I'm complaining.
I was actually going to ask you that question as well. That's not traditionally one of the fouls you usually see, but as we said, as this game goes and as close as this game is, these kind of calls will be made.
Yeah, we mentioned being qualified officials, but I wouldn't want to be out there. I wouldn't want to be out there officiating this game. It's going to be tight down the stretch.
Every play matters now. Ezzy, 4-point game. Ezzy goes all the way and responds for Hemel.
Absolutely on cue, the physicality from Veron Eze to get to his right hand, get downhill and finish the big and one.
Double now for Veron Eze. 11 points, 11 boards. And what a response from the Storm. 5:49 remaining.
And as Charlie said, they just seem to have an answer every time the Reading Rockets are able to pull it down. They seem to have an answer in the other end.
Veron Eze connects on the free throw. 4 of 5 from the strike for Eze tonight. Horman putting the moves on Newman. Horman looking for help, goes it himself and scores.
Yeah, again, it's a good bucket for Reading, but they have to get stopped. This is a team you can't let get hot in every single quarter and expect to win the basketball game.
Hemel shooting 57% from the field. They're 49% for the season. Eze, Newman at the top. Short, rebounded by Clark. Rebound number 4 for Mitch Clark with 17. Drives inside, doesn't go. Good defense from Eze. Clark wants a foul.
And here comes the Storm in transition.
Inside Dizu. And a late whistle, but a whistle called.
And it's getting very physical out there. We saw Mitch Clark put his body on the line at one end, possibly some contact at the other, and then Storm run away with the ball, and now they're at the line again.
Trip number 24 and 25 of this game for the Storm. Matthew Dizu makes the first. 3 of 3 from the stripe tonight for the former Essex Rebels man.
The impact of the likes of Matt Dizu and Veron Eze has been massive in this game.
Makes the second as well. And like you said, Charlie, for every run Reading have, every positive spell, Hemel have an answer. Can Reading find their own answer here? Oh, the rare in a 3, that's way off.
And the problem with giving up points every time you score your own is when you do miss. This is where Hemel assert their dominance. 5 guys on the court that can all make plays.
Nelson Henry inside, good defense. No, a foul called on Portman. Every possession counts, and I'll tell you what, every deflection, every defensive move is being spotted by the officials, and they are calling everything right now.
Absolutely, there's a lot of banging going on inside, and they're maybe letting things go off the ball, but as soon as the ball is in there, every little touch is getting called, and Nelson Henry just too tough to deal with down there.
Darian Nelson Henry currently 5 of 8 from the stripe tonight.
Just quickly, ladies and gentlemen, anybody got a little boy that's gone to the toilet? Because apparently they locked in and they're a little bit distressed. This is not a joke. If someone has a little boy going to the toilet.
4:24 remaining. Storm lead by 7. Chance to stretch the lead a little more to 9. As the Rockets fans make the noise, and their noise is rewarded. Nelson Henry misses the first. What a 4:24 we have left here at the Valley. Nelson Henry misses them both. Big play for the Rockets here. Clark inside Hopkins on the spin. Good defense from Nelson Henry, who says talk to the hand. Here is Newman. Nelson Henry has it back. Bumps champion, that's too easy.
Too big, too strong, too good.
Timeout Samit Nurizadeh, and all of a sudden the Storm have restored a 9-point advantage.
I think you'd probably, if you coach Samit here, you're probably drawing up a couple of different options to get Mitch Clark a couple of chances going downhill, getting to the rim. I think at the moment you're trying to put the ball inside. You saw Justin Hopkins, Zane Portman have had a couple of catches in the low post, but only with 6 and 7 points each respectively. So I think it might be worth looking to go back to the guards here. Can you get Mitch Clark off a ball screen, or maybe coming off a pin down? Can you get Olorarian spotting up in one of his favourite spots? I think the guards are the way they're going to have to go with Titus Angu out of the game.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. And with 4 minutes on the clock, a 9-point ball game, you like you say, you really want to go to a quick option here. You maybe want to look at a driving kick and see if you can generate a decent 3-point look, or get downhill and get to the line.
Either way, it promises to be an enthralling 3 minutes 55 seconds of basketball at the Valley. Reading 6-0 here at Loddon Valley, but it's being put to the ultimate test by the Hemel Storm, looking to stretch their unbeaten start in NBL 1 to 6-0. Reading need a spark. They need an offensive run here. Ullman, champion, thought about the 3 but decides to pass it off instead to Portman. Portman had it stripped away by Newman. Another foul has been called. Every attempt at the steal, it seems, is getting spotted by the officials, and a whistle gets called. Hemel flirting with team fouls, and Matt Ullman steps out of bounds. And we've seen this a few times with a couple of backcourt violations, and now Matt Ullman stepping out of bounds. Unnecessary turnovers.
Yeah, and as Charlie said earlier, you just can't do that against the top team in the league. You can't have these unforced errors.
Especially Charlie at this late stage in the game as well.
Absolutely not. You have to close out games well at the elite level.
Nelson Henry. No one knows a big game showing like he does. Ezzy, potential dagger, nails it!
Unbelievable.
Huge 3 for Ron Ezzy.
What a game he's had. What an impact he's had on this game. Unbelievable.
Champion is fouled. But even with 3:14 remaining, that was a huge 3 from Veronese. So confident, set his feet in the wing, nailed it.
And we said earlier on, those shots are going to be there as they double down on the post, and it was, and he's knocked it down.
Reading now down by 12. Hemel 6 of 22 from downtown. Champion to the line. Champion rattles in the first. Remaining in what has been a titanic encounter as Champion splits the free throws. What a pass from Dizu, but an offensive foul has been called.
Wow, what a play from Lewis Champion to step in front of the passer.
Took a lot of guts. Took a lot of guts, didn't it, Charlie, to do that?
It absolutely did, and there's been a technical foul as a result on Motton.
What a pass, though, from Dizu. Round the back pass for Onezi with the flush, but it didn't count.
I think what you're seeing here from the referees is just trying to grab control of the game as we watch it one more time.
Onezi with authority, but that basket doesn't count. Offensive foul is called, technical foul called after that. Clark makes the resulting free throw. The gap is reduced to 10. There's a bit of afters going on as well between Nelson Henry and Porman.
Love it.
Big possession here for Reading, right?
Someone obviously watched the boxing last night, Charlie. Or in the early hours. You've been yawning all evening, you have.
It's the 3 games I read earlier, John, not the boxing.
Big possession for the Rockets here. Here is Clark. Ullman driving at Nelson Henry. Nelson Henry stands his ground. Wild pass, backcourt violation. Again, another turnover for the Rockets at such a vital stage.
You've been given an opportunity. You've got the offensive foul. You get the technical foul shot. You get an extra possession, and you turn it over. So, yeah, frustrating for Reading. They're not quite clicking on the offensive end, but I have to say, I think Storm in this second half have actually been really impressive on the defensive end. Reading have managed to still score the ball at quite a high clip, but I still think they've done a really good job of taking them out of their desired options.
15th turnover as well for the Rockets in this one. Dizu all the way, too strong. Good help defense from Porman, but the Rockets have got to get scores here. Chamberlain, good closeout from Dizu. Porman, it's a risky pass. It comes off the foot of Matthew Dizu. I thought Zane Porman would have gone himself to the basket there, but a very, very risky pass. But Reading have another bite of the cherry.
Yeah, Hemel doing a great job of scrambling on defense there and just keeping bodies in the way.
Oh, nearly another turnover, but Champion just about collects. Driving at Motton, going all the way. Open man is Clark. Step back, Porman a 3. Another offensive rebound. Clark a 3. Nails it. Huge, huge score for Reading. They needed that.
They needed it. There's no timeouts left. They're doing it on their own now, the players. So up to them to manage to score the ball and get a couple of stops back to back.
Newman driving. Motton along the baseline. Offensive foul. Good play from Victor Honorarin.
Absolutely. Took it straight to the middle of the chest. Correct call. Good job from the officials now. After that's his 5th personal foul, Reading will get a chance to have another opportunity to score, but they have to make it count. We're in the last 2 minutes now. Missed opportunities and turnovers aren't good enough.
Tremichael Motton, double-double, 14 points, 11 assists, but he has fouled out. Tahir Akol wants the Reading players to come back to the court, who are being instructed by Samit Nurazani. The stakes are high, even at the very early stages of the season here, as Jack Burnell checks in for Motton.
You see
big possession here.
Hemel just showing a little 2-3 zone here as a change-up.
Chamberlain wide open, puts it in!
Huge hit from Tyrone Chamberlain.
Back-to-back threes for the Rockets, and now Reading are back in it. 4-point game.
Here we go.
Nearly a turnover on Newman. He still picks up his dribble. Hemel led by 12 with 2 minutes remaining and are now down to 4. And a foul called on Olarerin.
As my co-commentator has his head in his hands, he can't believe the call there. As we look at it again.
Charlie Haynes getting very animated here on the commentary booth. Well, I don't blame you at the moment. What a game this has been. Darian Nelson-Henry back at the foul line, 1:19 remaining. It's a 2-possession game. Darian Nelson-Henry, who missed his last few 3 throws, misses another.
The door is left ajar. 5-11 from the free throw line from Nelson-Henry. Rockets with the momentum. Loddon Valley on their feet.
19 of 28 from the stripe tonight. The Storm. Nelson-Henry thanks the crowd as he splits the free throws, but it's all to play for here. Big possessions from both teams. Chamberlain again. No. Big rebound for Veronese. Rebound number 12 for Veronese, but he turns it over. A foul has been called. Oh, the crowd can't believe it. Foul is on Champion. That's 5 fouls on Lewis Champion. He fouls out.
So tough there in the backcourt as they apply the pressure. They get the trap they want. Looks like they get a deflection and just a little touch foul sends Sam Newman to the line, and this crowd cannot believe it.
Foul on Lewis Champion. He fouls out of this game. Even the game night MC said he couldn't believe the call. Not sure that's allowed really, but either way we'll continue on as Sam Newman makes the first. Emotions are running high here at Loddon Valley. I think the sanest people in this building tonight are our incredible camera crew. Here is Clark driving. Olarerin, big shot. No. There's a fight for the ball. Who has it? It's Redding. Veronese can't believe it. And now Ezzy being pushed away by Newman.
And Reading did have an empty possession last time out, whether the foul was called or not. They had an empty possession that led to the foul, so they have to make it count.
They have to make it count. Chamberlain with the finish. Quick bucket for Reading, but they trail by 5. Hemel will just slow every possession down. Turned over. Nelson-Henry with the turnover. Chamberlain has to be careful. Mitch Clark. No, short. Big rebound by Newman. It goes out of bounds. Olarerin on the floor. Timeout, Mark Clark. Darian Nelson-Henry looking to his teammates, calling for Carr.
Yes, you've got to respect the hustle from Reading here. They're doing everything they can, fighting tooth and nail, and couldn't quite come up with the last big shot that they maybe needed here. 32 seconds, really, really important to get a stop or a steal here.
Coach Nerizade screaming at Simon Chamberlain last possession to foul Nelson-Henry. Right before the turnover happened, he wanted Nelson-Henry on the line as he's shooting just 50%. So it'll be interesting to see what lineup does Coach Clark come out with now. What's he expecting Reading to do? If they're going to look to foul, make sure your best free throw shooters are the ones receiving the ball off the inbound pass.
It's almost deja vu from the last 2 visits these two teams have played. It was an absolute barnstormer in the last time these two teams were at Loddon Valley. It was even more intense at the national playoff final, or the Division 1 playoff final. It has all the hallmarks of a thrilling ending here, but as we've seen time and time again, Ian, every time Reading produce a good spell of their own, Hemel come right back. And right now, 32.9 remaining, it's all about holding on.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had an answer time and time again. And now, down the stretch with 32 seconds on the clock, up 5. It's just about execution now. As Charlie mentioned, can you get it into your best free throw shooter's hands? Can you avoid an early trap and possibly a jump ball? Possession hour in favour of Reading here, so we'll see if they look to trap first and steal second, foul second.
Hemel have the ball, 32.9 remaining. Newman, a long pass, it is collected. deflected by Ezzy. Yes, it is. Ezzy inside. No, rebounded on O'Reilly. Reading have to score, and they've got to get a move on as well. They really have to get a move on. Clark, no. Out of bounds it goes. And that, you have to say, unless a miracle happens, has to be that.
Yeah, really needed that one to go. And with 15 on the clock now, tough times ahead for Reading here. Need a miracle.
Storm holding on. They dribble the ball. Time winding down. Burnell will slow it. Foul called. Jack Burnell to the line.
Could you ask for a cooler, calmer man than Jack Burnell to go to the line and ice this game?
Chance for Hemel to become the first team, or first visiting team to Loddon Valley this season to reach 100. But Burnell misses the first. That's his first miss from the foul line this season.
Curse of the commentator.
Had to be you, didn't it? But he makes good on the second. Hemel Storm have dethroned the Reading Rockets' unbeaten run here at Loddon Valley. A perfect 6-0. And you can see what it means to the Hemel Storm players.
What an advert for NBL British basketball here. Like, unbelievable game. Two teams with completely different styles, completely different personnel, and battled right to the last minute. Fantastic basketball game.
6-1 now. Reading move at Loddon Valley this season. But like Ian said, Charlie, an incredible advert for NBL Division 1, an incredible advert all round for British basketball. What a game we saw here tonight.
We have not had a quarter where both teams have not scored at least 20 points. If that's not excitement, I don't know what is. And what a credit to both teams. One from the Reading Rockets for continuing to fight back and claw back at the Hemel Storm lead. And massive credit to Hemel Storm. It's unappreciated, I think, actually how hard it is when you're up and that lead is getting shorter and shorter to then pull away again and again and again. So huge credit to both teams. And my heart is pounding at that one.
And we've got more action here tomorrow as well. A fantastic showing from both clubs here tonight. Darian Nelson-Henry, 24 points, a perfect 8 of 8 from the field, including 2 3-pointers. A majestic performance from the veteran. For the Reading Rockets, they were led by Victor Olarerin and Mitch Clark, who had 21 points each. But what a thriller we have had here today. And we are just about to get Darian Nelson-Henry on. And Darian, I don't know if you can hear me, but what an absolutely enthralling encounter that was for you tonight. 24 points on 8 of 8 shooting, but more importantly, a win for the Storm, 6-0 for the season.
There you go.
Your mic is now on. But yeah, you heard the question originally. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I did. I gotta rethink the answer now, so that's good. I had a little time. No, it's a fun place to play. There's a lot of energy in here, and I told the guys at halftime, and I told them during a little break, one of the timeouts we had, this isn't a team that gives up easily. We gotta keep our foot on the gas, and you know, we let them back in it. Props to them for fighting so hard. You know, it got close at the end there, but I'm really proud of the guys for holding on and just powering through. It was a tough battle, blue collar work.
And you know, this ends Reading's unbeaten run at home. You're the first team to beat them this season. You know, just describe the atmosphere here tonight. It was absolutely intense, especially in the last 3 minutes. What did Mark Clark say to you in the last few timeouts to get you over the line?
Yeah, I mean, Mark always keeps his composure. That's one thing I can always say Mark's going to do. He's going to get us into the right spots to take the right shots. And he puts his trust in us, and he tells us that often. And this is no exception. You know, he told us he trusts us. He put us in the right positions to score, and we took care of business just like we know how to.
And for you yourself, you know, coming out of retirement after playing for the Leicesterites, coming back into playing with Hemel Storm, how's the transition been? Of course, you're a full-time worker as well, so you know, a busy guy these days.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I think I need a small holiday or something, or at least the national team break like the top league guys have. Shoot. No, but it's good. You know, I thank Hemel Storm for welcoming me with open arms, and it's been an awesome transition to, you know, start working on my corporate career while I get to do what I love and what I put so many hours into, which is hoops. So it's a good spot to be in. I don't mind working hard. I've done it all my life, and I'm going to keep doing it.
Congratulations tonight, Darian. Thank you very much for your time. A brilliant 24 points, 8 of 8 from the field. Darian Nelson-Henry, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys.
So we will get Charlie Haynes will get Mark Clark in just a second. Mark Clark is now joining us in the commentary booth. And Charlie, it's all yours.
Coach, congratulations first of all on the win. How did that one feel?
Well, if you'd have asked me 17 minutes into the game, I'd have said it felt great. Because we moved the ball, we played really well. Then they're always going to come back. They're a good group. And then we found a way to win, and we had some foul trouble. But I think we're starting to get very resilient, so I'm very happy.
What a performance from Nelson-Henry. We just had him on stream a second ago. Talking to him, so I was just talking about what a performance it was from Nelson-Henry. How important was he today against a team as strong as Reading?
Well, Darren's obviously the best big man in this league, and his history everybody knows about in this country, and his college career was great. But the one thing he really adds to us is that experience and steadiness when we're getting a little bit flaky. He's the guy settling everybody down. Plus, maybe it's Reading. He has great games against Reading all the time.
Just one final question. Reading, obviously, great job from them today, scoring 94 points. You guys did an excellent job. Every time they were starting to pull that deficit back, you managed to pull away. What do you think was important about your scouting or about your preparation for a team that has the likes of Mitch Clark and Lewis Champion and those kind of groups?
Well, I think the important thing before the game and with Mike Darlow's scout was that the team that played last week in Loughborough is not the team that we were going to play. We knew that. You know, every team has a bad one. We had one earlier in the year against Milton Keynes in the trophy, and so we know that Mitch Clark is a great basketball player. He's a really nice basketball player that makes great decisions. He helps them. But we did say that we would be able to exploit some advantage we had on the inside, and you saw how important Darian was. And, you know, to be fair, Matt Ellis, he's been sick all week, and he put in a shift. But, no, I was really pleased, and, again, we said to Veron, you know, they're going to struggle to cope with you when we go really big, and so it proved late in the game.
Congratulations on your win. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you.
So a big win for the Hemel Storm here at Loddon Valley. They move to 6-0, top of NBL Division 1. For the Rockets, it's their second straight loss. First time they've had that this season, but they get another chance tomorrow when they take on the Derby Trailblazers in our second NBL live game. That's a Kit King Trophy semi-final. Who will meet the Milton Keynes Breakers in the final? Find out tomorrow. My thanks to Ian Berry and to Charlie Haynes. I've been John Hobbs. Have a pleasant evening wherever you are.